Have you ever finished a fantasy story and wished it felt darker, older, and far more unforgettable? If you're looking for an audiobook that goes beyond familiar fantasy adventures, The Broken Sword by Poul Anderson deserves a place at the top of your listening list. This is not a story about perfect heroes or predictable happy endings. Instead, it pulls you into a brutal world inspired by Norse mythology, where elves, trolls, Vikings, and ancient magic exist side by side. Every decision has a cost. Every victory comes with sacrifice, and destiny never asks for permission. The story begins with a child stolen by the elves and replaced with a changeling. From that single moment, two lives move toward an inevitable collision. One grows up among humans, never knowing his true origins. The other is raised by supernatural beings, becoming something both powerful and tragic. As their paths slowly come together, you'll discover a tale filled with revenge, family, identity, honor, betrayal, and the terrifying power of fate. What makes this audiobook so special isn't just the story, it's the atmosphere. Listening to it feels like sitting beside an ancient fire while a legendary storyteller recounts a forgotten myth. Every battle carries weight. Every magical creature feels mysterious instead of ordinary. Every chapter builds tension until you simply have to know what happens next. If you've enjoyed epic fantasy like The Lord of the Rings or darker mythological stories, you'll quickly notice why so many fantasy fans consider The Broken Sword a hidden masterpiece. In fact, many readers believe it helped shape modern fantasy long before today's biggest fantasy series existed. Yet it still feels fresh, because it refuses to follow the formulas that so many newer books rely on. The audiobook experience makes this story even more immersive. Instead of reading unfamiliar names and places, you hear them spoken naturally, making the world feel alive. The emotions become stronger, the action feels faster, and the haunting atmosphere stays with you long after you finish listening. This isn't simply an adventure. It's a powerful exploration of destiny versus free will. It asks whether anyone can truly escape the path chosen for them, and whether courage alone is enough when fate has already been written. If you're searching for an audiobook that's intelligent, emotional, and unforgettable, this is exactly the kind of story that deserves your attention. Whether you're commuting, exercising, relaxing at home, or listening before bed, The Broken Sword transforms ordinary moments into an epic journey through one of fantasy's most legendary worlds. Don't miss the chance to experience one of the greatest classic fantasy novels in audiobook form. If you'd like to start listening today, check the link in the description and claim your free audiobook trial. Once the story begins, you'll understand why generations of fantasy lovers continue to recommend The Broken Sword as a timeless classic that every audiobook fan should experience at least once.